Hi guys, Miss Acton here teaching math. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to try to go fast because I have a lot of stuff to cover. So let's get started. So first thing I'm going to do is take you to a student's Google Classroom so that you can see what all this is going to look like on your side. So this is one of our friends, Valerie. She does paper packets, so we don't have to worry about using her account because she doesn't use it anyway. So you're going to go into your classwork, whether you're Miss Ramos, Miss Just, or Miss Acton's friend. You're going to click on Math for today. You're going to do View Assignment. Do not just click on the attachment. Click on the View Assignment, the blue button down at the bottom. You're going to do this Nearpod, and it's basically just like a Google form, but it has different slides. A Google form, you just add question after question. With these Nearpods, they're separated by slides. So we're going to pretend like we're doing this as a group, but Miss Acton is going to do it on her teacher side. So here's what it's going to look like for you guys. The very first page is me, this video. So after you watch this video, this will be the next thing that you see. First thing that we see is a match game. If you see, it says match the models with their value. But the cool thing about the kid version, we'll go back to Valerie's page. When you click on this Nearpod, if you cannot read that first page, there is a embedded speaker, which means that it will read it for you. So I'm going to show you where that's at, just in case there are some slides that maybe you don't know how to do, and also to do all this stuff. So when you click on here, it's going to ask you to log in with either Google or Office 360. You're going to pick to log in with Google. Your email address should show up because you're already logged in under your Chromebook as yourself, so you should click on it, and then right there it should say your name, and you just say yes, continue. So now when you submit your work, your teacher will see that it's you. Now, if you go back to Miss Acton's preview, I don't have all of this stuff up here, but if you go to Valerie's, which is just like yours, there's this little book with a speaker on it. And when you click on that, it's going to take you to a separate page, but what's cool is it's going to read the directions to you. So listen.
Match the models with their value.
So you're going to match the models, which are the 10 sticks and 1 cubes, with their value, the number that they equal. So you go back to your Nearpod slides and you do what it just told you to do, which you're going to match 16, find the number card that has the place values or base 10 blocks, it matches it, and you're going to match all of them together, and then you're going to move to the next slide by pushing this blue arrow. Some slides have audio at the bottom. You're going to click on that and listen to what it says, and it's a lot of just Miss Acton reading this stuff to you and letting you know what we're doing for the day. Next we have our we will, I will statement. So what are you going to be doing today? You can click on this audio for it to read to you what you will be doing at the very end of this. Then it says, it just said eyes up front because you're going to watch a video. So this is a short clip of another teacher that is doing an addition equation. So just a different voice and a different way to do it to give you more ideas. Then you're going to try it on your own. So if you want to click up here, Miss Acton has some instructions for you.
So below, you have an open number
Solve the
line,
equation using the open number line, and then Miss Acton kind of tells you a little bit more. And again, in the kid version, you have this right here that also will read the question for you if you click on that. The most important thing about this is that I had a lot of friends that were practicing this stuff with me that said that once they read the directions, they couldn't find the equation. If you click the arrow up, it hides the directions and it opens up the entire drawing page for you. You have tools down here at the bottom. A friendly suggestion, what I would do is whenever you click on a pen, I would try to make it as small as you possibly can. Try to pick a dark color. If you make it as big as you possibly can, you won't be able to tell what you're writing. So you want to make it small, choose a dark color, and then get started writing. So on this one, we're starting with the number 62. So just like kind of our Jamboard, you can draw on this to show your work. And it will not let you go forward unless you do some work on this page. So you do your jumps until you find the answer that you need. So that's why we watched the video, the last slide, to teach you how to do this. Now you're trying it on your own. Let's say that you do a really good job and you get it right. Congratulations, you get to practice 2 more times. Let's say you get it wrong. The next slide is a video of Miss Acton showing you how you maybe made a mistake and how you can fix it.
Alright guys,
so this is the same exact equation that you guys just had, 62 plus 24, and Miss Acton's going to show you how to do this equation or how yours should have looked on your page. So watch that video and you're either going to be like, oh, I did it perfect, just like Miss Acton, I'm awesome, Or you're going to say to yourself, oh, I made a few mistakes right there. I'm going to fix that for the next time. So remember what mistakes that you made. Go to the next slide and you have another chance to redeem yourself. So remember, we're going to click that little arrow so that we can see the equation. You've got a different one, but the same thing. You're going to grab that tool, try to make it as small as you can, pick a dark color, and you're going to start doing that equation. Start with the number 53, adding the number 34, doing your jumps, yada, 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 getting that done. Then once you think that you have a good number line, you think that you have the answer, when you go to the next page, it's Miss Acton showing you again in a video. So either you made less mistakes this time or you made it perfect this time, but hopefully you still didn't make the same mistakes from the last one. So you watch that video, Miss
All right,
Acton
guys.
showing you
So
how to solve
this
it.
is the
Hopefully you got it by that time. So now that you've practiced twice and you've seen Miss Acton show you maybe the little mistakes that you've got, now the last chance for you to show what you've got, this is kind of what the teachers are going to be looking at. So Miss Acton, Miss Ramos, and Miss Just are going to be looking at this page and saying either they got it and we're ready to move on, or they didn't, we need to work on this a little bit more. So again, make sure you click that arrow up. It says solve 34 plus 15 on the open number line. This is actually a page from your math workbook. You're going to solve 34 plus 15 on this number line. So again, grab your pen, try to make it as small as possible. Do your work on this number line and solve that equation. And that's what our teachers are going to be looking at to see if you either got it or you didn't. And then that's all the hard work for today. So then after that, Miss Acton did put a nice little game for you to play at the very end. So this is a memory test. So basically you're going to pick the cards. Oh, I got to match the first time. So there's all kinds of puppies on these cards, different types of doggies, and you're going to try to find all of the matches. You're going to see if you can do it in the least amount of moves. Oh, oh, right there. He was right there. So try to do it in the least amount of moves. And there's a question, which puppy has purple flowers? It's this one right here. Check my answer. You got it right. And then the last one that you have to do, and you have to do this one or else it will not let you turn this in, is a poll. So make sure you have the question read to you. Which part of this Nearpod did you like the best? Matching game, number lines, videos, or the dog memory test? So basically, which part did you like the best? And depending on what you vote on, tells Miss Acton that I need to put more of that stuff in there, or if nobody votes on one thing, I know that I need to put less of that stuff in there or make it a little bit better. So choose one of these, whichever one that you like the best, either the videos of Miss Acton showing you where you maybe made your mistakes, or if you did a really good job, the number lines where you actually got a chance to draw and show your work instead of having to go to one of those stinky jam boards, and the matching game at the very beginning where you match the models with the number, the value that they are equal to, or the dog memory test with the pictures of the dogs at the very end. So pick one of those and then you push that submit button. This is the most important part, and your teachers are probably going to remind you to do this. If you do not, go back to your classwork. So you should have the tab still open, because when you clicked on the Nearpod, it opened it up in a different tab up here. You should still have the math tab open for the classwork today. When you go back into that, you should see that it has a mark as done. So once you do this Nearpod, you go back to your classwork and you mark it as done. If you do not do that, it won't show up that you got this assignment done. And on Friday, when your teachers are picking friends to do the lunch bunch, your rewards, and you have to get all that classwork done. If you don't come back and mark it as done, it won't show up and you won't get your rewards on Friday. So make sure you absolutely come back and click mark as done. And it'll say something like you didn't attach anything. That's okay. You're going to still click mark as done that's in the blue. And then that's it. It'll show up that you got that done for that day. Okay. So really, really, really quick, Miss Acton is going to show you what your learning is going to be today. So there are going to be some videos showing you this, but I want to show this to you really, really, really quick. So the difference is that we're not adding just numbers that start with tens today. We're going to be adding numbers that have tens and ones. So the first number that you see is always going to go at the beginning of your number line. And then you're going to figure out what your jumps are by figuring out tens and ones for this number right here. So 45 has 4 tens and 5 ones. that means I'm going to be doing 4 tens jumps and 5 little bitty ones jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4. I got to label those. So when somebody comes and checks my work, they know that those are tens jumps. I'll be doing plus 10 to show that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And my answer goes right there. I got to label those showing that these are adding 1. These are my ones jumps. Now I have to fill in the spots. So whenever I do this first part, the 32, I'm adding a 10 stick when I do this jump right here. That is just adding a 10 stick. So instead of having 3 tens, I'm going to have 4 tens, which means my number is going to be 42. And then I add another 10 stick, which means that I'm not going to have 4 tens anymore. I'm going to have 5 tens, which makes it 52. Then add another 10 stick, which means I'm not going to have 5 10 sticks. I'm going to have 6 10 sticks. And I'm not adding any ones, so my ones stay the same this entire time. Add one last 10 stick to it, which makes my number 72. And then I'm going to move that over so I have plenty of room for my ones jumps. And now the ones jumps are easy. You just count up by 1 every time. So 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, and then 77 is the last jump. So my answer, 77. And then you can always check your work using your models by making the number 32 and the number 45 and adding all of those up to check your work. So that's what you're doing today. Have fun. Make sure if you have any trouble, please contact your teachers. They would love to help you today. Bye.